Hey guys, it's Greg here from KinoBody. In the last video, I talked about why intermittent fasting is so effective and the best way to go about it. And just to recap, your best bet is just to push your first meal later into the day, so you can get that increase in growth hormone, increase in fat burning, and the growth hormone actually protects your muscle mass. It spares muscle protein, so you're not actually going to be burning muscle. You're going to tap right into the fat stores because growth hormone is needed and required to accelerate fat burning. So fasting is incredible. There's so many benefits there. Now I'm going to show you how to make fasting really, really effortless, make it super enjoyable and effective so it's not hard, because some people struggle with fasting, and really that's the last thing fasting should be. It should be really incredible. So really the first rule, okay, with fasting is forget about the eating window, okay? Ditch it. So a lot of times people try and adhere to like a 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 9 p.m. at night eating window. That can work if it fits with your schedule, but let's say, for example, that you wake up at 5 a.m. If you're up at 5 a.m., going till 1 o'clock is a very long time without eating. That's going to make fasting a lot harder than it needs to be. Another option, and then contrarily, maybe you wake up at 11 a.m. and then you're eating at 1 o'clock, so you're basically fasting for 2 hours after rising. That's not enough. That's not going to get the job done. So forget about an eating window. And another issue with the eating window is, let's say you're out with friends and then your last meal's at 9 p.m., but you're out till 11. So what are you gonna, are you breaking your eating window, or are you just not going to eat because you're not going to hit your calories and your macros because it's after the eating window? It's just ridiculous. So all you have to do is think about pushing the first meal later into the day. I recommend eating about 6 hours after rising. It can be more, it can be less, depending on your preference. That is really, really effective. So the first rule is forget about the eating window and just push that first meal late into the day. Don't try and go a long time without eating, okay? Just 6 hours every day, and that's 6 hours after waking. Every day, and you'll get huge benefits. The next tip is use caffeine strategically. So a lot of people don't drink coffee, or they drink way too much coffee, so you want to strike a balance. So if you're trying to fast without using some black coffee or some caffeine, you're making it a lot harder on yourself. Coffee actually will amplify the fast because it helps shuttle those stored fat cells into the bloodstream, so you're more efficient. You're burning body fat for energy. It helps increase norepinephrine, which goes along with the fast. So it just gives you a big energy boost, and it enhances mental alertness. So fasting and coffee is incredible. Drink the coffee black though. Now, the one issue that I see is that people drink way too much coffee. So they have 4 cups of coffee in the morning, then they have more cups throughout the day. So if you drink coffee throughout the entire day, you're not going to be as sensitive to the caffeine, so it won't do a very good job at suppressing your appetite. So what you actually want to do is just drink coffee during the fast, no other time. That will keep your body sensitive to the caffeine, so when you do have it, it will effectively blunt your appetite and make fasting super easy. So me, for example, I just have 2 cups, 2 standard cups of coffee per day during the fast, and then no other point in the day. And fasting till 6 p.m. for me is an absolute joke. Then again, I wake up at like 10 a.m., but like going till 6 is super, super easy. And then so the third rule, okay, is, and this goes in hand with the fasting, is use fruit strategically. So here's the thing, is when you're fasting for a while, your liver glycogen will become depleted, and that will send a signal to your brain that will make you hungry. And you can actually shut that signal off by replenishing a little bit of your liver glycogen. And the way you do that was with fruit, because fruit is made up of fructose and glucose, and the fructose helps replenish the liver glycogen. So having like an apple or a banana near the end of your fast when you start to get hungry can be really effective at staving off hunger. More importantly, fruit is actually best consumed on an empty stomach from my experience, because you want to eat fruit when your carbohydrate stores are low. If you've had a big meal and then you're eating fruit on top of that, well, you're not going to be, your liver glycogen stores will be topped off, so that fruit will either have to be burnt for energy or stored as fat. So you're best having fruit on a relatively empty stomach, and it just absorbs better that way. Definitely use fruit strategically. So usually for me, I wake up at about 10, and then around 3 or 4 p.m., I'll get a bit hungry, so I'll have like an apple, and then I'm good for a couple more hours, and I'll have a big feast. It works crazy well. Now the next, so those are the first 3 rules. The 4th rule is you want to work out intelligently. So you don't want to make fasting any harder than it is. So if you're waking up first thing in the morning and then doing an intense like CrossFit, P90X, interval workout for an hour, well, you're going to give yourself a ravenous appetite, and you're going to make fasting 10 times more difficult. So the point is to focus with your training on what actually matters. You want to do strength training to build and promote muscle and gain strength. And then if you want to burn some calories, just go for a brisk walk, play some leisure sports, have some fun, but don't go very hard. Don't go near your absolute max, because that will just burn yourself out faster and it'll make you really hungry. So focus your training on heavy strength training, and then some light aerobic work if you want. And then if you want to get some conditioning benefits, then do short interval sessions. Like 20 minutes doing intervals is a ton. Now the 5th rule is you want to eat big. So if you're fasting and you're used to eating normal size meals, then that's not going to be enough to satiate you. That's not going to be enough to give you the nutrition that you need. So I am giving you permission to eat a lot more than seems reasonable. So as long as you're accountable over your calories and your macros and you know what you have to hit, if you're eating 2 meals a day, that's going to be big. That's going to be a lot of food. So keep that in mind. If you're not willing to eat that much food, fasting won't really work for you. You can start on the lower end and eat less calories than you should be as you adapt to it, and then gradually build up the sizes. But this is an amazing strategy for people that want to get really ripped and they don't want to have to eat small meals. So the eating big part that's the big perk of fasting. So be prepared to eat big. I know a lot of people are scared about gaining fat, and they're scared that if they eat a big meal, they're going to store fat. As long as your calories and macros are accounted for, it doesn't matter. If you're in that deficit, you will drop fat. So don't think that because you're eating this big meal and you feel stuffed after it, you're going to be storing fat. That's not how fat loss works. It's about the numbers. So keep that in mind. And the last and final rule for effortless fasting is forget about it. Forget about the fact that you're fasting, okay? It's not a big deal. I mean, people like to go on and on. Oh, I've been fasting for, 16 hours. It's like no one cares. The more you think about the fact that you're fasting, the harder it's going to be. So just forget about it. To me, this is really the best way that you can eat. Pushing that first meal later into the day, it just makes it works on so many levels. So just do it. Just do it and don't think about it. It's highly rewarding as long as you let it be rewarding and not try and think way too much about it. So these are the 6 rules for effortless fasting. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I know a lot of people are getting into fasting now because it's so awesome. If you think this video will help them, make sure to share it with them. YouTube has made it easier than ever to share videos and like them and subscribe to them. So do it. What's stopping you? Okay, and if you guys want my best stuff, then get my free report, 14 roadblocks to getting absolutely shredded. I'll teach you, all the stuff that I've learned in the last several years to getting very, very lean without having to kill yourself, without having to make it a mental battle that is just brutal, because that's all hogwash. You don't need to do that. It can be enjoyable. It can be rewarding. So head over to KinoBody.com/shred, or just hit the link in the description. It will take you there. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.